As an introduction to myself and MTG Digital, so I am Matt George, the Managing Director of MTG Digital and the Head of Business Development. As our mission statement suggests, we're an agency that is very customer focused and results driven, solving everyday business problems with digital solutions. And our aim is ultimately to offer our customers the best possible digital solution using our skills and expertise when it comes to advertising and promoting courses, as well as how well they will best be presented and managed. I do work alongside my brother, which is Tim, and he heads up our development team, as well as Charlie, who is in our business administration team. So ultimately, we're a small team at the moment, but we are in that sort of period of growth. We do have a big passion, and we're a small team with a big passion to deliver the best possible service to our clients. As an agency, we decided to use our expertise within the training and education sector to work directly with schools, colleges, universities and education providers to deliver digital solutions such as social media promotion, ad design and management, as well as integrated websites and training management systems such as Access Planet. We are proud to have recently collaborated with Access Planet so that we can offer a full end-to-end solution by integrating our customers' front-end websites seamlessly with their training management system and e-learning platform. So ultimately, if you've got Access Planet in place at the moment and you've got a front-end website that isn't currently integrated into that back-end system, that is sort of what we've done the collaboration with Access Planet for, so then we can offer sort of like a full end-to-end service. As well as sort of all of that, you've then got the social media side, which we tend to see, which follows after all of that's been set up. So essentially, if you're looking to promote your courses through social media, which is what we're going to talk about in this session, ultimately that's what we can help with. So in terms of the first sort of part, it's going to be how we're covering, is social media has such huge impact on both course and product promotion. So in terms of time, so whether promoting through the likes of Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or even more popular TikTok, social media has a massive outreach and will help tremendously with boosting your online presence and sales. And just a few facts. So within the UK alone, there are around 53 million active social media users, which is 77.9% of the UK population. 98% of those UK users use social media on their mobile devices. So as everyone will know, most of us have got iPhones, Androids, smartphones, and we've all got these social media platforms on them. So why not best utilize them for your own sort of promotion through your business? And on average, the UK user spends roughly 110 minutes on social media per day. So if you was to go into your activity as well on the likes of your iPhone, you will actually be able to see how long you spend on apps, just to sort of give you a rough idea of if you're spending that time on it. Think about your consumers as well. And social media penetration in the UK is 66%, while internet penetration in the UK is 94.9%. So when it comes to social media promotion, the audience potential, is obviously massive. In terms of your audience, though, you want to target the right audience. So dependence on your audience will all depend on where is the best place to place your ad or organically promote your products and services, as well as decide on the type of ad you choose to post. So are you looking to promote apprenticeships to school leavers or degrees to college leavers? The likes of Instagram, Facebook and TikTok, they're all very relevant to that audience and age bracket. Whereas if you're looking to do, more of a commercial sort of type post, that would more go to your likes of like LinkedIn or, online and through Google ads and things like that, because you're looking at targeting a specific type. And whereas most of, of young people are on all of those apps. So if you are looking, a lot of colleges and schools that we work with, they're looking to get people, signed up to courses or apprenticeships. The likes of like Instagram and Facebook ads are massive, and we've seen that massively grow. And whether it be through paid advertising or regular content that you post, it's important that if you aren't using paid advertising, you post relevant and regular content that keeps your audience engaged on your channels, either by using photos, videos, stories, as well as popping captions and related hashtags to ensure you appear in the right places. So, for example, if you're sort of like pushing a product, you might want to promote the information around that product on your pages, so that when people are going onto those pages, and like consumers or, existing customers, everything's relevant and current with what you're actually, you're posting about and advertising. As an example of an ad, so we've got here an example of an ad. So take this one that you see here. So we're promoting a new single by the great Harry Styles. maybe you'll click it first time round, or maybe you're a scroller, but given the amount of time you spend flicking through social media, liking, sharing, commenting and engaging with content, the chances are you'll most likely click on it at some point just to check it out. So I can admit that I'm one of those people. I'll scroll past an ad multiple times, maybe in the same day or on different days of the week, and then eventually I'll click on it. A massive one for me is like Adidas. I'm always ordering off Adidas's site, and they're constantly getting into my feed because the more you go on, use their apps, the more you go on their pages, ultimately they're getting that information from you as a user, and then posting out those ads, and that's the way that ads sort of work. So this is how it works for you in your course as well. So in terms of, if you was to promote a first aid course, let's say, for example, and you was to put that on there, and, people are doing those types of searches or swiping past those types of posts, ultimately they keep on getting out there. You can make it relevant to the audience. So, if you're putting it into different sort of categories of people, again, that can get into those different devices of people. So ultimately, with customers that we work with, specifically in the construction sector, that's a massive one for us. And we've sort of found the right audiences now to promote those courses for those types of clients. And then in terms of the online digital billboard, so I usually, and a lot of marketers refer to social ads as the online digital billboard. And it's exactly how we explain it to our clients when we get asked the question around, how long will it take for the leads to come through and for them to start seeing a real return on investment. So using the billboard as an example, again, how many times have you walked or driven past a BT or a Sky offer in the street before actually getting out your phone and Googling it, calling them to get the offer? It might be 3 or 4 times before actually taking action. And however, social media promotion is far easier as it's right there at your fingertips of your consumers. So if you're putting an ad out there, again, it's it might not be as as cheap to run in the initial sense to get it out there, but ultimately your return on investment is a lot higher, and we've seen that through a series of reports and that we've sort of done with our clients. Well, ultimately, if you were to take anything from this, though, is that social media and online advertising, you can't get away from it in today's world. So why not utilize it, to its best sort of capabilities? Okay, so the next bit sort of like around finding out what platform will give you the best return on investment. So as most of us will know, especially marketing agencies, like ourselves, social media is an undeniably powerful tool to reach new audiences and connect with your existing customers. It's now the #1 channel used by marketeers, but with all that tweeting, liking, posting and scrolling, it's important to understand which platform is best, and it can be difficult to know which platform gives you the most bang for your buck. So again, dependence on your offering will have some impact on what platform may work best for you. If, for example, as I mentioned earlier, you're looking to approach a more corporate audience, the likes of LinkedIn ads would offer more, as you'll be able to target the right people with a certain job status. So, you can do things like that through the likes of a LinkedIn ad. It's the same with sort of Facebook and Instagram. So obviously when you put in all your personal information into Facebook, they don't just collect that for nothing, although there has been sort of like a lot of change that's been made to privacy. But, there's a lot of information still out there that gives you as a sort of like a business, access to that consumer data, so that you can ultimately target the right audiences, the right people to turn those ads into, into bookings for courses. And then in terms of all about brand interaction, so it's important to ensure your brand interacts on whichever platform, platform's most popular with your audience, but it's equally critical you take the time to determine which platforms provide the best return on investment for your business. So there'd be no point in paying for online ads, for example, if when a consumer clicks on your social handles or your pages or your website where you've got a blog, they're greeted with nothing to back it up or no build up to something new that you may be launching, especially when this is where your consumers will interact on your posts. So, all that liking, commenting, if you've got something that you're doing a campaign for and the last time you posted was a year ago, and then it's not keeping it current, it's not keeping people fresh. So ultimately it's just backing that up as and when you're running campaigns. And it's also using a mixture of posts as well, such as hints and tips. So on our social media pages, for example, we will put out tips on there, how to create ads, what sort of is the best way to sort of get your return on investment through an ad, So we'll put those types of things on. Whereas, you know, with the likes of you with courses, you know, what are people going to get from that course? Where can they go from actually booking and attending that course? How long that, you know, the sort of like certification will last. So it's, you know, it's adding things around the campaign that you're running and building up your page as well, because it'll always be there for people to see. So yeah, so just around educating and telling people as well what it is you can do or you can offer. But then also as well, I think it's important that you put in personality posts. So, you know, like about the team post, you know, who's behind the business or things that might be happening, and what everybody, you know, doesn't get to see on a day-to-day basis. You know, I'm sort of like, which I'll come on to shortly, a big person on LinkedIn that is, you know, I love posting stuff on LinkedIn for our customers and sort of like connections that I go out to see, for them to see. And ultimately it's given, you know, our profile and business a profile and a bit of a face of the business. So in terms of our homepage, as I was just mentioning there, so take our homepage as an example. If one of our consumers was to check us out either from landing on our page through an ad or a website visit, they'll see what we, you know, what we're frequently active and that there's somebody out there. And again, it's a place where our customers can also engage with us. It's really important for you to keep your online profiles relevant as well. So especially if they're linked to your business, such as a LinkedIn profile. If a consumer searches for you, which is extremely easy to do these days, make sure your profile matches your brand offering. So ultimately, you know, again, if you're posting stuff that is relevant to what you're doing as a business, so if you was to go onto a site where there's a course running, you know, post it, get it out there, put your face to it, and ultimately, you know, you're showing like consumers what you're doing as a business. And again, this may just get you as well that last minute booking. So if you're looking to fill a place on a course, you know, we work closely with, again, another construction client, and they're always posting their sort of like course updates, you know, on the daily, sometimes in the morning and afternoon, but with a bit of personality behind it as well. You know, that they're in the office and you know, they're looking to fill a space. If you know anyone, you know, they're tagging people. Again, you're getting that more outreach. LinkedIn is a platform that, you know, actually shows you straight away when you go onto a post. It'll show you how, like, all the insights and, you know, how many sort of people that's hitting when you put that post out there. And then in terms of some facts and figures, so it was actually the Access Planet Training Industry Benchmark report that highlighted 88% of their training providers use LinkedIn to promote their training business and courses. So that just backs up, you know, what I've just said there about LinkedIn. And then you've got also as well 55% use Facebook and Instagram, and then 45% use Twitter. And personally, Twitter, I do think it's a great platform, but you know, it's sort of more, you know, to interact with celebrities and public figures in my eyes. But ultimately, you know, if you've got a profile on there, again, you want to keep it sort of current and fresh with your business, keep it all in line. So then there's, you know, there's a standard that you're setting across all your platforms. And then although email campaigns and word of mouth play a massive part in helping you promote your business as well, is proven via our own reports, every 1 in 2 leads via a Facebook, Instagram ad will convert it to a confirmed booking. So I pull this again from a recent client of ours, and they were essentially spending around 30 to 40 pounds per day on Facebook, which is now Meta. And that ultimately brought in an average of between 13 to 14 leads at a cost of £3. But for a course such as, you know, let's say in this example here that I use, a CITB health and safety awareness course where you may charge between £150 to £200, your return on investment is obviously really nice in that essence. So, you know, sometimes paid ads is the way to go to sort of back up those pages, especially if you're looking to promote, you know, like a new course or something else you're offering and you really want to push sales on. But ultimately, though, it is vital that you understand your audience before creating any social media campaign. So if you don't do your research, you know, you risk spending time, money and resource on the wrong channels, and you could actually be missing out on more profitable, you know, consumers elsewhere. And no matter what social media channel you do decide to use, the best way to increase your return on investment is by improving your consumer intelligence. So, you know, get to know your customers better than your family ultimately, and understand what they're saying about your training through the likes of surveys and feedback forms, and what platforms they're discussing you on. You know, a good sort of survey platform is SurveyMonkey, and that you can use to sort of collect data in that sense. you know, and that is free to use to a degree as well. But ultimately, you know, you're checking out where people found you and how they heard about you. And ultimately, you know, you can post that your next lot of content and campaigns on those pages. So that way as well, when you do launch a new campaign or ad, you'll be super relevant, not a jarring ad that interrupts a customer's life. And it'll also be well-timed, well-targeted experience that people will engage with instantly. One other report, though, that I did sort of pull up on was the HubSpot report. So as you can see on this report here, that's been HubSpot, it's actually called a State of Marketing report. Facebook is actually the social media channel that provides marketers with the highest return on investment. As it stands, over 40% of marketers cited Facebook as the most effective channel for the business, followed by the roughly 30% who saw the highest ROI from Instagram, which is another Facebook-owned social platform. So by comparison, the other social channels in the list, including the likes of LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter and Snapchat, they all rank much lower, with less than 10% citing each platform as the best channel for ROI. However, again, all depends on your course offering and your consumers. It's how you'll decide on the social, you know, media platform that's right for you. Ultimately on ours, you know, it's all across Facebook, Instagram, and also LinkedIn on a LinkedIn page that we have for the company. But from a sort of personal point of view, LinkedIn for us as a business, you know, has been great. And so in terms of my own insight, so as I've sort of, you know, said a lot of, I can vouch for LinkedIn working for us as a business. And this is ultimately what it's all about when it comes to finding out what is the best bit for your business. So LinkedIn, as an example, for me, you can see my smiley faces here and here. We're always posting regular updates about what is going on with us as a company, but also where you may see us and what I am doing. So again, it's just sort of making those posts relevant, you know, to what you're doing as a business, being a bit personable, you know, but where you can find us as well. And, you know, I've sort of previously, when it's just been using text and posts with no meaning, where there has been no interaction whatsoever, keeping it current and fresh keeps the numbers growing, which is a business in today's age, online traction is key. And this is obviously from more of a personal point of view. So ads and posts using free applications and tools. So as you know, a lot of people know there's hundreds of free applications out there that can help with creating different graphics and posts. Some are easier than others, but for a new starter, we'd highly recommend Canva. We actually use this if we have any, you know, new starters sort of coming on board, the likes of Charlie, who joined us recently. You know, she's been using this tool for some of our posts that we've done, but we also use the Adobe suite as well. It's more so of a professional tool, Adobe. It's a little bit more complex, but you can do loads with it. But for someone, you know, for a small marketing team in a training business, or if it's just a one-man band, again, Canva's amazing. It can create some great sort of pieces when you bring them out of there, and you know, most of the features are free as well. It is easy to use. It's free for most features and give you a real understanding of how layers work when it comes to creating the perfect ad. For example, as you can see on this one here, you've got loads of different layers going on. You know, you've got a foam mock-up, you've got some shadowing and some backgrounds, you know, QR codes, you've got the backgrounds on the phone screens. So these are all little things that, you know, have been created in Canva and then, you know, put onto the post, as you can see. And then this is actually one that we helped our clients with. So what you do is you can create things like assets. So your asset is ultimately the individual thing. So for example, where you've got a QR code on that phone, that would be classed as an asset. And then when you drag the asset onto the picture, you know, you can then shape it, change it, and do that all within Canva, you know, to make it look like it does there, like it's all, you know, ultimately popping out of the screen. But it is simple and it's effective, and you know, using the features like the shadows and the iPhone mocks adds a sense of realism to your pictures and to things that you're doing, you know, especially if you're creating like an ad as well for a campaign, then you can do. But ultimately, if you are, you know, sort of looking for a little bit of help and guidance on that, it is something that we offer, as you know, as one of our services. And the other thing is about Canva as well is you can sort of export the pictures in different sizes and formats. So you can also post to different channels directly. So you can do that live from Canva, or you can simply share and download the file and do it that way. And then in terms of the actual Canva itself, so we'll actually be hosting a free online workshop in November, and that will give you a run through on how to create an ad of your own and try and, and run through all the basics. And we've done that with a couple of our clients, where sort of afterwards, they've asked for a bit of help, and we've done a little workshop with them. Definitely. So in terms of, say, if you put an ad out there, so the way Google works, for example, is if you was to put an ad on Google or the likes of Instagram, you would pay, you'd put a budget against it. But ultimately, to stop people sort of being able to, say if you've got a company that has got a budget of 100 grand and someone that's only got a budget of, say, a grand, obviously if the way that ads worked was around, you spend 50 grand and you could be, at the top and showing in everyone's sort of like top ad, then the world would be a bit cruel to do that. So ultimately, if you've got posts, sort of like blog posts or stuff on different websites, so if you've worked with different people or you partner with people and you're mentioned on different sites, or you've got regular content going on your social media, ultimately that all sort of chips into where you will best perform on those channels.
Is it important to be verified? Is it worth investing the time in trying to do this?
Yeah, 100%. So in terms of verification, just in terms of that, Louis, is that on Facebook, for example?
Not specified, so I'm going to guess subtly, but
social
anywhere. There you go.
Yeah,
social anywhere.
So in terms of being verified, it's actually happened in the past with our clients where they've held a profile, they've not been verified, and then Facebook will block them. It's quite a common thing that does happen. So in terms of a profile on the likes of like Facebook, you do have to link your ad account to a profile that has been, it is a real profile, because if you don't, Facebook are very good at at sort of recognizing that and blocking you. In terms of Instagram verification, blue tick, I mean, I wouldn't see it as massive. Obviously, if you want to be big in that sector, I wouldn't see the blue tick as being a massive thing to go for. But obviously, the more sort of posts that you're putting out there and the more you're appearing in people's For You pages, then yeah, that's something that you could put the time into, I suppose. But it's not something that I see as being a massive importance to your ads.
Thanks, Mark. And last one, unless anyone's got any more, feel free to put them in the chat. And make sure you address it to everyone, and then we can all see them. One from Alan. So where is the line between sharing personal content on work socials and showing personality? I guess it's that fine line of where does LinkedIn end and Facebook begin, right? That's I guess that kind of question summarized.
Yeah, I mean, to me, everyone has got their own personal opinion on it. I mean, I'll do the odd post personally at home that isn't, work related on mine. But it all depends again on how you want to show on your pages. If you want to come across as that like personable company and you are just a small company, where you've got like up to 30 staff, say, then post all your heart's content on there. But in terms of I always say, if I'm at a meeting, I will always post that I'm at that meeting, because one, it's work relevant, but it is personable. It's putting my face to a profile, it's putting a face to the company. But at Christmas time, for example, I might post a home personal one that again is, it's just interacting with people that I've got connected on there. And also as well, people do say, why are you putting this on here? It should go on, it should be something that's on Facebook. But ultimately the people that you connected with, you've probably met at a conference anyway, they know a bit about you, especially if you're a personable person. So it all depends on you as an individual, how far you want to go with that.